Hello, everyone. This is Ex Bethelite here. And what we don't want to do is put a trained monkey on a pedestal. We don't want to take a trained monkey and put him on a pedestal above ourselves. Jehovah's Witness elders are trained monkeys. You can teach an animal to fetch. You can teach an animal to sit. You can teach a monkey to do all kinds of different things. Raise its hand. You don't want to take someone who, through repetition, and that's how you teach an animal. The animal doesn't completely understand English. Oftentimes what you do is you train it through repetition. Jehovah's Witness elders have no authority. They have no theological training. They've read the same watchtowers, the same watchtower publications, the same watchtower altered Bible over and over and over and over again until Watchtower has them trained to say what Watchtower wants them to say. Jehovah's Witness elders are literally trained monkeys. And what happens sometimes is a person is trying to leave Watchtower. They decide they don't want to have anything to do with this cult anymore. So they may start to fade. And the elders, again, these trained monkeys who we do not want to put on a pedestal, don't put them on a pedestal. Don't treat them like anything other than what they are. Trained monkeys. These elders will start to call, maybe try to visit. Sometimes these elders will call your relatives and friends and acquaintances. And what they're trying to do is dig up a reason to disfellowship you. Well, sometimes coming out of the cult, we can give these elders authority that they don't have. Sometimes we give these elders more authority than we do the police. If the police were to question you in regards to something that could incriminate you, you would want to speak to an elder. You want to speak to a lawyer first, right? You have the right to remain silent. Even the police officer, someone with actual authority, will tell you you have the right to remain silent because what you say can and will be used against you. And oftentimes elders come calling people who are trying to leave, and what that person says to the elder that calls or visits is then used against them. Oh, I don't believe this is the truth. Oh, I want to worship on my own. Oh, I want to do this or I want to do that. The elders then use that information to separate your family from you. So we have to think about that. We don't want to make it any easier for Watchtower to incorporate its shunning policies and practices. And really, you don't have to tell these people anything. Police have authority. Prosecution has authority when you're in a courtroom. Jehovah's Witness elders have less authority than anyone in any religion. They have less training than anyone in any religion. Oftentimes, they're just old. They're just men who are old, and they're questioning you. Jehovah hasn't given them any authority. At what point did Jehovah authorize Watchtower? They're self-proclaimed false prophet. They're self-proclaimed elders, self-proclaimed ministerial servants, self-proclaimed whatever title they have given themselves. And they are trained monkeys. They're people who, through repetition, have been trained, not through real understanding, because only a monkey, only someone who sees things just for the banana, just for the reward, just for a title, just for a little bit of prominence, would ignore the deeper things. The generation of 1914 that was never supposed to pass away being changed to overlapping generations. It takes someone that is very shallow to miss that. So these aren't wise men to be in a religion that has falsely proclaimed that the end of the world would come over and over and over, and has gotten it wrong over and over and over again. These aren't wise men who have a policy of a 2-witness rule when it comes to child molestation. A person out on the street knows that a child is not going to have 2 witnesses if that child is molested. Child molesters tend to not do it in public, or they tend to not invite someone else to watch as they do it. So for an elder, a Jehovah's Witness elder, to miss all the false predictions of the end, the 1914 overlapping mess that makes no sense, children needing 2 witnesses, for elders to miss that proves that these aren't wise men. These aren't particularly intelligent men. These are men who, through repetitive door knocking, which is what Jehovah's Witnesses are known for, open the door and listen to what a complete stranger said. That's the qualification to become a Jehovah's Witness. You opened your door, accepted a magazine, and listened to what a complete stranger said about Watchtower. They've no qualifications. They are literally people who went into a Jehovah's Witness facility, was told what to say, told what to think, told how high to jump, and they did it. And when things are blatantly wrong right in front of their face, they miss it because they're just trained monkeys. A trained monkey only knows to do what it's trained to do. It doesn't know how to look in depth into anything. These are trained monkeys who are calling you, digging for information. Don't give it to them. If you were living in Nazi Germany and the Nazis came to your home and they were looking for your family to take them to a concentration camp, to take them away from you, and your family was hiding in the closet, and these KGB agents came to your home and started to question you as to their whereabouts, would you tell them the truth? Yeah, my family's right there in the closet. Go get them and take them away from me. Take them to a prison. Take them somewhere else. No, you wouldn't tell them that. And this is someone with authority in that particular country at that particular time. You would not tell them what they wanted to know. So if you wouldn't tell a person with authority what they wanted to know so that they could take your family away from you, why would you tell a trained monkey? That's what a Jehovah's Witness title holder is, whether it's elder, ministerial servant, pioneer, whatever. Why would you tell a trained monkey something that could be detrimental to you or your family relationships? Now, keep in mind, if you decide that that's just what you want to do, then that's fine, because that's a choice that you've made for yourself. But if you feel that you have to answer the phone when you haven't been to the Kingdom Hall in 2 weeks, and trained monkey then calls your phone and you feel like you have to answer, no, you don't. This is just a man who's old. He has no other qualifications to be questioning you about anything. There's no authority from God. Think about Moses and all these people. They spoke to God directly. God picked these people out. Watchtower just popped up and started knocking on people's doors and gathered a following. They have no authority from God whatsoever. So these trained monkeys, they have zero authority to be taking your family away. I wouldn't tell them what they wanted to know. I haven't seen you at the Kingdom Hall in a while. Oh, I've been ill. The talk about Armageddon and the talk of the Great Tribulation and those things, I get some sort of weird nervous system reaction, and it makes me ill. You tell them anything. You know, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to tie myself in to the call-in line where you call in and they connect you to the meeting. See? And then as soon as they connect you to the meeting, hang up and go about your business. Or I'm not feeling well. You know, I have some kind of chronic illness that popped up out of nowhere. I'm not feeling well. I'm not able to make it out very much. Someone record the meetings for me. And they'll record them and you just never listen to them. You know, there's a million things that I have not thought of. And you can comment down below and let me know what things you would tell these trained monkeys that are calling around digging for information when you haven't been to the hall to try to find ways to take your family away. There's a million things you can tell them, or not talk to them at all. And then they don't have anything to use against you, other than that they just haven't seen you in a while. So you're dealing with trained monkeys that lie to people. They go to people's doors and lie to them. They make false claims as being Jehovah's Witnesses is a title that Watchtower picked out. God never gave them the authority to use that title or to use his name, which is not technically his name, but to even use something that resembles his or is known as his name. These are just random people. No authority at all. And when they say that your disfellowship is literally they have tricked your family into thinking God is angry with you, because they have no authority to know one way or the other. So when you want to leave the Kingdom Hall and go to a real church or go and worship on your own, or you don't much feel like going to church, don't put a monkey, a trained monkey, on a pedestal. And when they come looking for you to ask you questions and dig and get into your personal life, don't let them, because they have no authority at all. If a monkey called you on your phone and started all that noise making, you, why is this monkey on my phone? And you would probably hang up the phone. I've seen the videos where people have gone to the judicial this or judicial that, and I don't know that that has been beneficial in anything other than the elders digging for information and then you speaking to them and them using what you say to then try to take your family. Now, everybody's situation is different. So if your family isn't in, then you could take that into consideration and do what you choose to do. Or if your family you don't feel will shun you, then you could take that into consideration and do what you choose to do. But there's no benefit that I can think of in speaking to a trained monkey, a trained idiot, and giving them information and letting them question you. You're a grown adult. No one can question you in regards to your personal business and your personal affairs, much less someone who's not related to you, who is not your employer, who has had no theological training, who has done nothing but go to the Kingdom Hall and remember repetitious things. That's it. Honestly, animals can memorize repetition. That's how we train them. We do the same thing over and over again. You train them to know what certain things mean, and then when you want them to do it, they do it. Elders, Jehovah's Witness elders, ministerial servants, all of them. Watchtower has trained them to know what Watchtower wants them to do, and then they do it. Sit, fetch, play dead, jump, roll on the floor. Whatever Watchtower says do, that's what these trained monkeys do. They in of themselves don't have any knowledge, otherwise they wouldn't be in a religion that is so blatantly, obviously not ordained by God. They couldn't be getting everything wrong if they were. Jesus being Michael the Archangel, who let that one through? The whole 144,000 concept, all I got to do is read the whole chapter or read the whole scripture, and you realize that it's just ridiculous. A lot of the Jehovah's Witnesses teachings are so dumb that there's no way that these people have that much intellect and that are looking into it. So these men aren't just, they're not even just old men that are wise. They're just old men that have been trained to think a certain way, to respond a certain way to certain things. They have no control over your life. So when they call you, when they knock on your door, don't get nervous. Don't be afraid. Decide whether or not you want to tell them to leave. Tell them you're busy. Tell them you don't feel good. Tell them you got to go to work even if you don't. Tell them whatever. When salespeople call your house, when bill collectors call your house, what do? You kind of tell them whatever. These people have less authority than they do. Get them out of your way. Whatever you tell them, get them out of your way. You don't have to be truthful to people who are trying to hurt you with information. Again, even the police give you the right to remain silent. So trained monkeys, they give you the right to tell them whatever, to stick it wherever, to do whatever, whatever you feel like. But not something that they can then use to try to take your family away. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of hard to take somebody's family away that and I'm just using this as an example, that says that they are ill, and that's the reason why they weren't able to make it to so many meetings, and maybe they can just make it to work and that's it, or something like that. It'd be kind of hard to take someone's family away. And I wouldn't feel bad in telling them that, because all they, lying is their language. That's all they preach is lies. That's all they talk about is lies. That's all they do is lie to people. That's what they choose to believe. Jehovah's Witnesses choose to believe lies. That's their truth. So lying to a Jehovah's Witness technically is telling them the truth, because the truth to a Jehovah's Witness is a lie. You tell them a lie, for them, that's the truth. Just, don't put a trained monkey, a watchtower monkey, watchtower trained animal, on any kind of a pedestal and feel like you have to do anything that you are not comfortable with doing. 937-789-4029. We'll discuss it. Send me a text. I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Busy with a lot of different things in a whole different state, getting situated. So bear with me. Ex Wallkill Bethelite signing out.